I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Situated here. First of all, thank all our visitors for coming. Brave souls that come out here this morning on this kind of weather. Stephen, thanks for driving up here. We'll get meeting started as usual. We're going to have a new item. We've got public input on agenda items only. So if anybody has something they want to address on an agenda item, please raise your hand. Seeing none, we'll move off the agenda. Highway Department, Jason? Oh, there he is.
Morning.
Morning.
As cold as it is, we do have permits.
And thank you. Oh, there we go.
Ready, Jason?
Yep.
NIPSCO has two permit requests. First is 4th County Line to Beach, German Township. It's pole replacement, improve the system, and pick up in a bucket truck. The second one is 5th to Gumwood to Fur, German Township also. Pole replacement, same as the other, improve the system with using a pickup and a bucket truck. Do I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
Motion been made and seconded to approve the two NIPSCO requests. All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. We have one permit for Brightspeed. That's at 20766 South Lake Drive, County Line to Underwood, Polk Township. And then we have an aerial fiber install request. Okay. Equipment at Boom Lift. Can you back up a little bit?
Are those separate requests or are they?
Yeah, they're all Brightspeed, I think, aren't they? Are they both Brightspeed?
Brightspeed and Stone Excavating has one.
No, who's, okay,
so
okay, the
that's-
first
One
one, it was
Brightspeed.
all one. Okay, I'm sorry. It skipped a page.
So I'll move to approve the permit for Brightspeed on Lake Drive.
Second.
Motion made second, approve the Brightspeed request on South Lake Drive. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Sorry about that, Jason. The other is Stone Excavating LLC has a one request. North Michigan, first to Tyler. Sewer line install. It's want to tie to the city tour with a bore machine.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion been made second to approve the Stone Excavating request. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Bridge 1 on Yule Trail, I think we got that resolved after I had sent this out. Is that correct, Angie? We had some stuff on that. Bridge 1, parcel.
Yes, we need a signature on that. We still don't have that.
For Bridge 1? For the parcels?
No, that was the parcel. No, that was the one we still need. We just received that, but you need to start that in the portal to make payment,
Okay.
which I believe I emailed that back on Friday afternoon late. So you'll need to start that for payment, and once that payment has been processed, we can then transfer that property, and then that would take care of all 5 parcels for Yule, for bridge number 1.
Okay.
Sorry.
So what she said. 232 Homer Tree Service has the right-of-way clearing both sides completed. Due to utility markings, they'll have to go back out and relocate those. Once they do, then they'll grind the stumps out and finished up on the removal. There'll be no work this week. They had a training that they had to go to, and they will start removing the bridge next week. 231, no updates. Bridge 88, no updates. 108, no updates. Bridge inspections, we had to replace some signs and sent pictures in. due to the signs that we had weren't compliant, due to updates on bridge standards. The special safety call for the HSIP pavement markings, those need to be scored by the commissioners and sent back to me, then I will submit those to NDOT for review. Once reviewed, then we'll start with the process of selecting the top-ranked firm. Speed trailers and guardrails, both those presentations have been submitted. On the NOFA call, the 8020 Linden in Michigan. Linden Road, during the presentation, they had mentioned looking into a railroad grant, which would help take that out of that Linden Road project. Kathy was pretty sure that there's grants that most likely would cover that railroad. And she said she'd get back to discuss. Then on Michigan, I think I put that updated financial commitment letter to that during the presentation. NDOT recommended looking at doing a complete rehabilitation of the superstructure as well. I think what they're looking at is being that far into the project of doing a rehab on it, going ahead and doing the superstructure as well, being that far into it. You're looking at the estimated service life of that going way up opposed to just doing a deck rehab. So this would be a updated financial commitment letter for that. I don't probably need an answer on that today, but something to take up under review for the next meeting, because it probably need to have an answer for that to get back to NDOT, how we want to proceed with that.
Where's that Michigan Road Bridge at, Jason?
North of 6, goes over the railroad.
Okay, oh, yep, okay.
The financial commitment letter? This would be the, well, I sent it on the presentation.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
So that would be the updated financial commitment for that. I just mentioned that. On the EV grant, the charging stations did come in. Then on the equipment, the VAC trailer, request additional appropriation to purchase from Q and Bridge. I did take that to council. Council supported that purchase. We have submitted for an additional. Once that appropriations is in, I would like to request a prepay for that, once we have the appropriated money in that line for it.
I have a question. You looked at the contract on that back trailer?
Yes,
Everything seemed to be okay for you?
yes.
Okay. Do we need to approve that contract?
So we have a proposed special purchasing resolution that'll be coming here, and I think that should be sufficient.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Do you want that, Sean?
Do I want what? Oh, I don't need it now, no, thanks.
So this is a resolution, correct?
Yes.
Here, do you want to read that into the record by any chance?
Yeah, I can, if
Since
you'd
you
like.
wrote it? Yeah,
Okay.
go ahead.
It's resolution number 2025-1. It's a written determination of the Marshall County Board of Commissioners regarding purchase of hydrovac trailer through special purchasing methods. Whereas on November 14th, 2024, the Marshall County Highway Department entered a 2-month rental agreement with Brown Equipment Company for a 2020 Vermeer hydrovac trailer to be used in highway projects. Thereafter, Brown Equipment Company agreed to afford the Marshall County Highway Department the opportunity to deduct its prior rent payments from the purchase price of the equipment, providing a discounted purchase price of $122,000. The purpose and intent of this resolution is to approve the purchase of the 2020 Vermeer hydrovac trailer utilizing the special purchasing methods set forth in Indiana Code Section 5-22-10 et sec. Therefore, be it resolved by the Marshall County Board of Commissioners as follows. Section 1, pursuant to Indiana Code Section 5-22-10-3B, The board, as purchasing agent for Marshall County, makes its written determination that the special purchase of a 2020 Vermeer hydrovac trailer for the price of $122,000 is approved. The basis for this special purchase is savings to a governmental body under Indiana Code Section 5-22-10-5, recognizing the discounted purchase price offset by prior rental charges. So basically, the state laws allow, if there's a special opportunity for the government to realize a savings, that they can, as long as they make in writing, a formal determination that they're going to utilize those statutory procedures, that they can take advantage of that savings without having to, normally this is a large purchase of equipment that they'd have to solicit multiple proposals for, but in order to take advantage of the savings, if they make this finding, they can go ahead and execute the contract.
I move that we approve Resolution 2025-1.
Second it.
With a prepay. Would you want to prepay in a separate motion? Please. Okay. Motion made and second to approve resolution number 2025-1. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Now, do we have a motion to make it a prepay?
I move to allow the highway department to prepay for this.
Second.
Motion been made and seconded to allow the trailer to be purchased under a prepay. All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries.
Then for the Community Crossings 2025-1, projects for that is 9th Road Pioneer to County Line. That is a correction. On the previous one, it would be Nutmeg Meadows, and I think the other one actually stated Nutmeg Ridge. So that would be Nutmeg to Nutmeg. That basically just makes the loop back around. 16C, Redwood to Pear, and 3rd, King to West Shore. Total projects is $2,128,500. That's a $2 million grant, so $1,500,000 would be on the state, and $500,000 would be on the county. So anything over that would be on the county as well. I took that to council. They approved the funds, but I did not list the projects in there yet. So today I actually have the projects in, but I had their support for that dollar amount. Now with those being in, I asked if they would come in and sign. Bins of projects were in there now, and the commissioners approved that today.
And Jason, the letter that you last sent me is not correct from what you just said, so you will need to send me an updated letter for signatures.
Letter for signature.
Yeah, the Community Crossings grant, the one that I have, you have on your report, 9th Lincoln Way to Union, and I have 9th Pioneer to County Line.
Pioneer to County Line is what I have.
But on your report, you're saying Lincoln Way to Union.
Oh, so that would be,
So I need to know if the letter I have is the correct one, or if there are updates before any signatures are added.
so the one you have is Pioneer to County Line.
Yes,
Nutmeg Meadows,
yes, Nutmeg to,
Nutmeg,
and then 16C, Redwood to Pear,
yes,
3rd, King to West Shore.
yes,
So what I have is correct.
yes.
Okay.
What is it now? What do you have, Angie?
I have 9th Pioneer to County Line.
Okay, that was the one. I
Yep.
just-
Yep.
Yep. Okay.
Okay,
And there it is, yep.
okay, there it is now. Okay,
So it looks like we might be on the hook for an additional roughly 130,000 if everything plays out.
Yes.
Okay, I'm good with that.
well, plus a 5.
Right, yeah.
But I know in the past, sometimes they come in a little cheaper, sometimes they come in
Right.
a hair more, so
Yep.
yeah, that's just a ballpark.
Yep.
So do I have a motion to approve Jason's request to submit these for the Community Crossings grant?
So moved?
Second.
Motion been made and seconded to submit these projects to the Community Crossings grant. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
And I think that's all I have.
Got any questions for Jason, anybody?
One other thing, did you guys get the letters of interest, or the LOIs and the score sheets?
Yes.
That's for the call for projects. So you guys will have to go over scoring those and getting those back so I can get those submitted. I just want to make sure you got your emails for those letters.
What's the process look like on that?
Process, I go out and have him explain it to me, because I'm still confused how to score them things.
I
That's the
mean,
process.
it probably is easier if you get time just to stop by real quick and I can go over it
Okay.
real quick with you.
Sounds good.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Jason.
Yep.
Tell the guys, thanks for the job they're doing. I know it's tough out there now. Excuse me. Gibson Insurance, Stephen Swihart.
You get me too.
Yeah, Mike Miley too. Okay, would you both please have a seat and state your name and record, or name and address, and you just give your business address, Stephen.
Can I get, give
Ooh, that's tough.
Give a copy of Sean. I've seen it. He's got mine at home, but I've seen it.
Thank you.
Business address is tough, but
Go ahead, state your name and address.
Stephen Swihart, 501 Pennsylvania Parkway, Suite 260, Indianapolis, Indiana.
Mike?
Mike Miley, Morris County Insurance Consultant.
Thank you. Go ahead, Stephen. Thank you for coming up here
Yeah,
today.
absolutely.
Yeah.
So we presented the 2025 to 2026 insurance renewal for the county, which you have in your books.
Do you need a copy? Have you got one?
I don't, but yeah, we can go into as much depth as you like. Stan, I don't know if you had any questions or about
No,
this.
and I did send them about the discount for Bliss
Yeah.
to raise the deductible, so I give them both copies of that. I think, Sean, you've seen that too. I think I had you in on that. And then what the discount would be from going to 2,500 to 10,000 on the
Yeah.
deductible. So other than that, excuse me, they've had a chance to look at the books a little bit, but
Great. Yeah,
up to speed, I guess I would say.
I guess Jesse or Adam, do you guys have any questions over what you looked over? Or it's a lot to digest, I know.
There's a lot of information coming
Yeah.
at us these days. So
yeah,
currently, I do not have any questions.
Yeah.
great.
As they come up, you know how to get a hold of us.
Yeah, absolutely.
And if I remember right, the 900, no, what's the insurance, 800 and what, 50-some thousand, the insurance premium?
So the total this year without the increased deductible is $861,258. And then I included in your books another exhibit, would be on page 4, showing the decrease in premium, adding that deductible, which would be a decrease on that 861 to roughly 821,000.
And what's the change in the deductible?
The deductible changes for claims against the county for civil rights, violations of civil rights from 2,500 to 10,000. And I put a list of claims that the county has experienced for civil rights, violations of civil rights in the book, so you could see, what roughly, if we averaged out those claims, what it would be from a premium perspective.
Basically, civil rights is mainly, it was like a lot of times just jail issues,
Typically, yes.
overcrowding,
Yeah.
and things like that, things that go on to jail.
Yes.
And those claims are one, so if you have multiple individuals that have the same claim, they will be one claim on the insurance, so it wouldn't be multiple claims, so. And that's how Bliss McKnight handles their claims, which is a benefit to the county.
And years ago, we had, with the overcrowding in jail, at one time, we had like 30 or 32
Yes.
of these, and instead of $2,000 deductible for each one at the time, they lumped them all together and charged us $2,000 for all of them instead of $60,000 for the group. So they've always tried to work with us. Any questions, any discussions? Anything else you guys want to add?
Nope.
I don't think so.
I thank Bliss for, and Gibson for at least giving us these options. So I guess the question is, this will start, is it February 1st or January 31st?
January 31st.
Is
is the
this when
effective
this
date.
probably kicks in for a year? And the only question is approval, and also, do you want to accept the higher deductible and take the $40,000 savings.
Yeah, I think accepting the higher deductible is wise. You know, with, I always hate to say this, with the amount of cash that we have, we can absorb some deductibles if we need to. So, yeah, do we need a motion on that?
Yes.
All right, so I'll move to increase the deductibles as presented.
Second.
Motion made second to increase the deductibles on the policy on our, yeah, what's the name?
Civil rights liability.
Huh?
Civil rights
Civil rights
liability.
liability, yes, from $2,500 to $10,000. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Then I'll need a motion to approve the policy in general. The 800, what would be $821,000?
Roughly, it's on page 4.
Yeah,
of
I
your-
don't have a book here,
At the
so
bottom right. Oh,
can't tell what it is.
820,738.
$820,738.
All right, I move to approve the proposed policy in the amount of $820,738.
Second.
Motion made second to approve the policy renewal for $820,000, $820,738. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you very much.
Thank you, guys.
Health Department, Sandy. I think I just saw her come in. There you are.
Yep.
Sorry you come in.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I'm Sandy Dunphy, the administrator at the Marshall County Health Department. And I have several things today to ask about. One is a couple of memorandums of understanding. The first one here, it's on top, is Dustin's Place. We were trying to figure out a way, because we wanted to work with Vicki Brown very much, because we're very much in support of the work she does in the community. I know she's looking for financial to help with the expansion of her project. I mean, we are unable to do that, but I am able, as the health department with our Health First Indiana funding, to offer some of the cost of the grief support she offers. So we've come up with a contract to sponsor basically 20 children in Marshall County residents, cover the cost of their grief services. And then the next one is for Marian University out in Ancilla. They want to use, they want to create a space within our building with us in our department for clinical rotation for their nursing students, so they can get their community health experience. And that one's no financial. We just need to host students 2 days a week and then let them see what community health nursing is. The other one is Ladybug Foundation. Ladybug Foundation is a newer organization in the area. Her name is Lindsay Bartz. She's from Fulton County. I've known the family for a long time. Her dad is a dentist down there, and her sister is. She has a prenatal yoga workshop that she offers, and this is something that will go in line with what our goal is in the future. Now that we're able to move forward in procuring our, additional space, so we can offer more services. The prenatal yoga is not just yoga. It's about healthy eating and development of the baby and safe sleep, and it's going to be with a certified nurse practitioner, an OB nurse practitioner, and Dr. Noemi Adame. She is the pediatrician that will be offering some educational sessions as well during these. The yoga sessions are 90 minutes. I think it's 30 minutes yoga, or maybe it's 45 minutes yoga, 45 minutes education. The first round will be down in Culver, but we hope to be able to continue to sponsor these throughout the county. So they can be Bremen, Bourbon, Argus, just throughout the county. Again, Marshall County residents are those we will be sponsoring. She's opening it up to anyone outside the county, but our sponsorship will just be those of Marshall County residents with our Health First Indiana funding. I did send all of these MOUs to Mr. Cerisi. He turned it around like that for me, which I appreciate, because some of these things I've been waiting on an answer back to move forward. So I appreciate your speed in that. You have any questions? And then, of course, Angie and Tori, oh my gosh, I wouldn't even begin to know how to do all this if it wasn't for them.
So what are the costs involved in these three? Go back to the costs again in these
Sure.
three.
For Dustin's Place, it's $30,000 is what I would like for the health department to sponsor for the 20 children, for the grief support classes that they offer. And then for, of course, the Ancilla, there's no financial obligation. It's just letting the nursing students come to our facility and we work with them and be the proctor for their experience. And then for Ladybug, let's see here. I think it was 5,600. You got a-
Total?
Yeah. Yeah. And that's for this session of classes. So again, we hope to do it again, in the fall at another like Bremen or wherever. Depends on how many, the interest is for this one. But we're really excited about it.
So my question is, the 30,000 for 20 children at Dustin's Place?
Yeah.
So if we don't have 20 children,
Then the money would just stay there until
Okay.
she, uses it all up.
they're all up, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, that was my question, how that would work.
Unfortunately, I don't think that's going to be a problem.
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
And this is money that's already been appropriated, right?
Yes, I mean, yes, that's part of our Health First Indiana funding.
I'd just add that we had forwarded the contracts to Mike Miley, and he had, in consultation with our liability insurance folks at Blitz McKnight, had offered some substantive revisions that they suggested for liability language, and we got those worked into the documents. So thanks, Mike, for that assistance. And I would agree with Sandy. I'm also the town attorney for Culver, and Dustin's Place came and made a presentation to the Culver Town Council a couple weeks ago, and they had shared there that I think they have around 60 children and families that come for their peer-to-peer grief counseling sessions once a week, and it sounded like a majority of those are from Marshall County, so I would guess that number would be easily met.
And by offering this 30,000, then that will free up money for her to be able to use to get the renovation she wants to expand into that space at Lifeplex.
All right. I'll make the motion to approve the MOU with Dustin's Place.
You got a comment from Mike, maybe?
Mike? Sorry.
This morning Angie forwarded me certificates of insurance, which is a requirement for people doing business with the county, and they weren't really what we require. We have a letter, Sandy.
Okay.
Karen's got it, that we send out to all of our vendors and everything.
Okay.
So if you could just send that to them.
Oh, sure.
And then when they get back, we'll take a look at it and see if there's things that maybe they don't need that we were requiring or something that they should have. For example, Ladybug, do they have any employees, besides the lady that's running it? If so, they need workers' compensation, things like that.
Okay.
But it's all detailed in the letter.
All right,
So-
thank you.
And have the county name as an additional insurer.
Okay.
Okay?
So I would
So the recommend-
suggest we make these motions pending.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep. So I'll modify my motion to approve the Dustin's Place MOU pending the acceptance of their insurance information. Yep.
Second?
Second.
Motion made and second to approve the Dustin's Place agreement pending the modification and approval of the insurance requirements. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries.
Then I will make the same motion for the MOU with Ancilla, or Marion University, I should say. So to approve the MOU pending the approval of the insurance information.
Sean, do we have the same problem? Mike, do we have the same problem with insurance? Make sure they meet that?
I'm sorry?
Do we have, with Ancilla, do we have the same problem with
I haven't
insurance?
seen the certificate from them.
Yeah, may as well just make the same motion for all of them, and then we can
Okay.
check it out.
Yeah, okay. Do I have a second?
Second.
Motion been made and second to approve the agreement with Marion University, the clinical affiliation agreement, pending approval by our county attorney to meet the insurance requirements. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. And we have Ladybug Foundation.
I'll make the motion to approve the MOU with Ladybug Foundation pending approval of the insurance.
Second.
Motion made and second to also approve the memorandum of understanding with the Ladybug Foundation pending approval of the insurance papers. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries.
And just a reminder, until all those pieces are in place, we can make no payments to
Okay.
any of the vendors. We have to have a fully executed with all the parts there.
And Marion University, same thing, the students can't start coming to clinicals until?
Not until we have fully
Okay.
executed.
All right,
So
that's
we'll
fine.
get through, I'll get that to Mike, and
They should get, if you could just email that letter, certificate letter
Okay.
to them, they should be able to turn that around to you in a
Okay.
day.
That's the one I'm, the most urgency, not urgency.
It shouldn't
but is
take any time.
Yeah. Okay, I just wanted to let you know that, in May, I came before the commissioners to ask permission to apply for a emergency preparedness grant. It was a 5-year grant. They've sent a new letter of intent just to see if we plan to continue year 2. The original grant was, I asked for the 5 years, but I just wanted to let you know I'm getting ready to send that letter of, yes, we want to continue into year 2. So I don't think I need like a full, just making you aware of it. And then it's a $25,000 grant, and we'll use it to fund half of our preparedness coordinator's salary.
Okay.
All right. And then I just wanted to give you a little update. First of all, with our Health First Indiana funding, gotta find it here. We have created a lot of partnerships throughout the county. Too much paperwork. Oh, here we go. This is not a complete list of who we've been partnering with since we've had our Health First Indiana funding, but it hits the main ones. Breathe Easy Marshall County Alliance, St. Joseph Regional Medical Center, the Marshall County Boys and Girls Club, Argus Community School Corporation, Culver Academies, Marshall County Hope, the Bowen Center, Overdose Lifeline, Plymouth Community Schools, Culver Community Schools, Marion University and Silicon Campus, the Ladybug Foundation, Fitness Forum, Triton Community Schools, John Glenn Community Schools, Bremen Community Schools, Union Township, LaVille Community Schools, Purdue Extension, Dustin's Place, the Council on Aging, all local fire, police, EMS, Sheriff's Department, Women's Care Center, WIC, Amish Community, Marshall County Recycle Depot, Bikes for Kids, the Bread of Life, the Neighborhood Center, food pantries in Culver, Argus, Bourbon, Bremen, and the St. Thomas Episcopal Church, their non-food pantry. And some of the stats for last year, and these are just rough numbers, but I just wanted you to hear some of the things that we did in the last year. We issued 105 septic permits, 92 well permits, over 400 food permits. We investigated 88 animal bites, 1 spider monkey bite, and 2 mole bites. We had 22 recordable complaints. We get a lot of complaints, but sometimes people won't leave their name or they won't leave their number. But official recorded complaints were 22. They may call and say, I was at so-and-so and there were a lot of flies flying around in the restaurant that day. Can you do something about that? Things like that. We gave almost 4,000 immunizations, serving almost 2,000 patients. We had 40 after-school or after-hour, non-business hour immunization clinics that included 15 hearing screenings where we screened over 300 children, 15 vision screenings where we screened over 200 children, 44 lead screens. In comparison, last year, 2023, we only screened 10 lead screenings, so 44 this year, and probably most of those were in our Amish community. That's something they are very interested in, is screening their children for lead. We did 9 complete lead assessments, which is where we go out to the home with equipment to try to figure out the source of the lead exposure. We had 220 latent TB cases, which means they have TB, but they may have had tuberculosis for quite some time. And then we had 2 active tuberculosis cases in the county this year. Both of those have cleared now and returned to activities. We tested over 70 people for sexually transmitted diseases. We did almost 600 communicable disease investigations in Marshall County, which would be people with hepatitis C or pertussis or Lyme disease, chickenpox, just anything considered communicable. We issued 129 birth certificates, 370 death certificates. We've dispensed over 500 doses of Narcan. We are placing Narcan boxes throughout Marshall County. We have 3 in the county now, and within the next month or so, we will have one in Argus, Culver, Bremen, Bourbon, Tyner, Tippecanoe, and La Paz, working with local fire, police, and EMS to get those in place. We have given out over 2,400 condoms, 16,000 diapers. We purchased 3 AEDs for the community. We collected over 9,000 sharps, and we've given out over 70 sharps containers. The recycle depot will no longer be collecting sharps effective in 2025. I think it was budget constrictions. So we decided to make that part of our mission, was to keep that sharps collection in the community going forward. So using our Health First Indiana funding, we've contracted with a provider. So we take sharps from Marshall County residents for free, and then when they bring us sharps, we give them a container back. We've reached out to all the pharmacies to let them know that any of their customers can come to us for sharps disposal. I read in surrounding counties, I really don't see it so much in Marshall County, people reporting all the time sharps being found in their parks. I don't see that here. I don't want that here. So it's a service that I feel is very important.
It's interesting that solid waste isn't taking it anymore. I'm sure that's not a budget issue, because it's not like we lack any money out there. I'd be interested to know, why they stopped doing that.
We wanted to continue. We thought it was very important, so. And then we collected almost 100 units of blood last year with the blood drive we sponsored with the South Bend Medical Foundation. And we're continuing that partnership this year, so every 6 weeks they'll be coming back to the community, and we're really happy about that as well. All right, I think I've taken up enough of your time. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much, Sandy.
Thanks, Sandy.
Thank you. Next, we have Human Resources. Jennifer, I see you sitting back here.
Rocking right on time today.
Good morning.
Good morning.
So I just have the updated premium rate spreadsheet for you. There were some negotiated stop loss that came in October, along with the September claims, which changed the employer portion just a little bit. That's all I have.
So if I remember right, these employee contributions are about the same as they were last year.
The employee contributions aren't changing at all, correct?
That's awesome.
If there is an increase, the county is eating it.
Yes,
For the
and
employer.
has for,
Last couple of years.
yes,
Yeah.
yep.
So I guess anybody have any questions, discussion on this? Any suggestions?
I just want to say thank you. I know how much work you and the auditor's office are all doing to administer this program. And it's very valuable to what we're going to be able to do in the budget future-wise. So thank you.
You're welcome.
And just so while we're on the subject, there will be a meeting coming up here. We get it scheduled for kind of bring you guys up to date and get our quarterly report, what's going on. So here in the near future. So do I have a motion?
I move to approve as presented.
A second?
Motion made second to approve the revised employee benefit premium rate sheet as presented. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you.
Thank you.
Next, we have the Marshall County Economic Development Corporation. Greg's here to give his annual update. Morning, Greg.
Good morning. How are you
Just
today?
state your name and title, please, for the record.
Greg Hildebrand, President and CEO of Marshall County Economic Development Corporation. Here to kind of give you an update of what we're doing and what happened in '24 and what we're looking forward to in '25.
Okay?
Our mission is to expand and diversify the economy of the county and its communities by fostering investment in new and existing facilities and creating entrepreneurial capacity. Our board is comprised of 10 board members, several business owners, educator, healthcare, finance, insurance, and banking, all represented on the board. Ron Lee of Argus, Patty Kitch of Bourbon, Greg Miller of Bremen, Don Fox of Culver, Chelsea Smith of La Paz, John DeSalle of Plymouth, Eric Hosopel is the commissioner's appointment, Laura Vink is the council appointment, Bill Davis and Mark Umball are both at-large members. In '24, we had over $50 million in estimated capital investment. Most of this was for existing employers for new product lines and increased productivity automation. Over $9 million in additional annual payroll is estimated to result from these investments. Unemployment in the county, November 24 are the last numbers we have available to us. Currently, Marshall County is at 4%, Indiana is at 4.1, and the U.S. is at 4.2. The average wage in Marshall County is currently $24.12 per hour. Indiana is 28.9, and the U.S. is 34.9. As you can see, we're behind in that, and that's one of the things we're working, we specifically work at increasing that. You'll notice I didn't mention how many jobs were created because we have a lot of unfilled jobs in the county presently. What we're more concerned about is incentivizing and increasing those wages. That's more of our focus now. And when I mention that $9 million in payroll, that's what we're looking at. Projects this past year, SDC is a die-cast company currently located in Missouri. They were purchased locally and are being relocated to Marshall County, estimated to have 25 employees. This is that building, you've probably seen it going up on Pioneer Drive. That's cool. Bomarco, AK Industries, Oasis, BCI, Hardwood Interiors Design, Viking Paper, Zentus all expanded their operation and their workforce. Shells Inc. of Bourbon finished the installation of their first 3D sand, mold, and core machine. It has expanded their market and brought additional business. Look for additional lines to be added soon at that. The building that they refurbed for that purpose can house 5 of those machines. They're about a $5 million investment per. American Container and Southwire continued their expansion projects that were started in '23. All Points Tool Manufacturing, a woman owned and run enterprise here in Plymouth, received a manufacturing readiness grant from Connexus to automate part of their manufacturing process. The South Bend Elkhart region is the #1 region in the state for these grants. Marshall County ranks 10th as far as counties are concerned as receiving those grants. Our Business Retention and Expansion Program, this was our second year of ongoing BR&E interviews. We touched base with some nonprofits this year also because we have several large employers in the county that are nonprofits. The top 5 employers based on full-time employees are Southwire, Hoosier Racing Tire, Plymouth School Corp, Culver Academies, and Oasis. Town attraction is still the #1 issue, common issue that we hear reported. Those entry-level positions are easier to fill. At one time, even those were troublesome, but now they're looking for people that have some special talents. You know, supervisors, accountants, engineers is a big one they're looking for. This third year going on, we'll be finishing up that 3-year rotation. Previously, we did them every 4 years, and we did a random sample every 4 years. We would touch base. We've transitioned into touching a third of our employers every 3rd year so that we get in touch with everybody, and it's an ongoing program we have. Indiana Economic Development Corporation leads that we received. We received 108 leads this past year. We responded to 15 of those that we thought were appropriate for Marshall County, or we had facilities or an ability to respond to. 3 of those resulted in follow-ups with us. One ultimately was a formal incentive package was offered to them. That's still outstanding. I don't know where that's going to go. Economy's kind of changed in that particular field on that one, so we'll see. Marshall County Career Innovation Center obtained a new market tax credit and has broken ground on a new structure, and classes are scheduled to begin in the remodeled areas in the fall. New areas of study are being introduced here in Marshall County CTE students. Adult education is greatly improved with more GREs and technical training being offered. Workforce development for encumbered workers also improving. Marian University's Ancilla College is a part of the Workforce Development Initiative and has worked with local industry to develop a leadership program. That's still ongoing. Ready 2, Marshall County received $4.5 million in funding for 3 projects in Ready 2. Bremen Growth Project received $3.7 million. Heartland Artists received $500,000, and the Culver Community Youth Group received $300,000. Marshall County will also benefit from the $4.1 million that was given to the Habitat for Humanity Regional Initiative. Ready 2 funding is not available until 65% of Ready 1 funding has been distributed. This was something that we were concerned about based on some size of the Ready 1 funding. There's been some change in St. Joe County, and we expect that to be able to be reached here shortly. US 30 and 31. The comment period is over for the 3rd round of Propel study. The final recommendations are being drafted and will be given to NDOT for their consideration. This has been a razor's edge to negotiate, weighing safety, efficiency, and access with maintaining and creating opportunities for economic development. The safest and most efficient overall solution will sacrifice the ease of access for large areas along the routes and have a negative effect on opportunities for economic development. Without proper access roads and local infrastructure improvements, many sites will be negatively affected. While the State Road 10 and 31 intersection is not part of the Propel study, it is an area of concern. To improve the safety at this dangerous intersection, thought and preparation needs to be put into how the intersections on either side of the address, either down there at Dewey Street or up at 16th Road. This was illustrated, unfortunately, in a train accident that happened in the 24. That's something we had been talking to our officials for well over a year that was possible. That was our concern. As soon as it happened, we were sent pictures to all of them. In talking to Jason, I know he's going to apply for some grants. We have been talking to federal officials about grants for that intersection, and they're well aware of that. There were 2 separate housing studies done in 24, one by MACOG and the other by Marshall County United Way and the Marshall County Community Foundation. We are involved in both of those studies. Both agree that additional housing units are needed. The MACOG study looked at current and future needs in terms of type, cost, and volume. I look at the inventory per se. The Marshall County study looked at issues around affordability or barriers to finding housing, wages, types of housing available, transitional housing, issues of policy or opportunity. MCEDC continues to be involved in these work groups as housing is a concern for increasing population and workforce. We host County Development for the Future on a quarterly basis. It's a group of community leaders, elected and non-elected, gathered quarterly to discuss issues pertaining to economic growth throughout the county, updates about projects that are underway or under consideration are shared. Opportunities for funding are also shared as they become available. At a summer meeting for this County Development for the Future, MCDC gathered 4 electric utilities to talk to officials gathered about the supply of electricity available to the area. All 4 discussed how the demand has exceeded the historical demands that generation was operating under for multiple reasons. The amount of electricity that is being demanded through the automation and electrification of manufacturing, the digitization of everyday items, the electrification of transportation. All of these are requiring more electricity after decades of what was fairly consistent demand. You'll hear the term all of the above when utilities, policymakers, and legislators speak of generation is more effective and reliable responsible in putting a large amount in any one source. So what they're looking at is not putting all their eggs in one basket, for instance, when it comes to generation. They're also talking about decentralized generation, generating electricity closer to the end user, reducing the cost of transmission. That is the largest cost, is the transmission of electricity. Several industries, including some locally, are exploring options of generating electricity behind the meter, reducing their reliance and costs associated with utilities. Another item that we talk about in county development for the future is regional cities, stellar, Ready One projects. These county development of the future meetings are often another way for communities to discuss these types of funding projects. One Marshall County will be working in this space, but our quarterly meeting is another opportunity to inform and collaborate with leaders throughout the county. Some of the ongoing areas for 25 and beyond include industrial sites for development, housing, entrepreneur and small business development, internships and apprenticeships, workforce development, downtown development, county comprehensive plan, regional partnership, and county development for the future meetings. As far as industrial sites for development, we are working with REMC and Wabash Valley Power Authority. They are offering a grant to help develop land that has been targeted for industrial development, is not shovel-ready, and has some infrastructure needs. We'll be applying for that this first quarter. There are some properties here in the county that have been set aside for industrial but need additional development. We continue to talk with the short rail operators, siding owners, and industry to determine how developing a cross-dock facility could be beneficial to Marshall County. Marshall County Economic Development Corporation is proud of our continued work with Plymouth Industrial Development Corp. On the work to sell their properties to industry employers. As the number of sites they have available continues to shrink, they are in discussions of what the strategic next step is for the organization. MCDC continues to be a part of that discussion. As mentioned previously, housing in Marshall County continues to be of concern. Most of the communities in Marshall County are currently in the middle of a housing project. For instance, Bremen received Ready 2.0 grant to develop housing in several areas of the community. This project is a collaboration of several entities in the community and should be a source of pride for the community. The Dunes project that received some infrastructure funding under Ready 1 is under construction, and from recent looks at the project, it would expect residents to be moving in later this year. They're coming right along on that. Argus has 11 homes that they've built or in process of building on the south end of town. Some are finished, sold, have families in, and a couple are still early in their site construction. Plymouth work continues to develop and build housing of all types in Plymouth. A townhouse development in downtown Plymouth recently broke ground. The administration is also working to spearhead some infill housing projects. Bourbon housing is a focus of their town board, and their town councils, school and community leaders are exploring options for development. In entrepreneur and small business, we are currently working with Indiana Small Business Development Corporation, Heartland Gallery, on a community collaboration grant through the IEDC, develop a series of workshops to help creatives become better small business operators. While aimed primarily at artists of all sorts in the area, it will be an initial program that will assist all small business entrepreneurs. The McCluskey Award, I don't know if you're familiar with this, MCDC and Plymouth Redevelopment Commission had sponsored an award at this Notre Dame Entrepreneur Competition without much Marshall County participation. I'm proud to announce this year we've had 2 entries from Marshall County made the first cut in the competition and look promising going forward. Idea Week, which the McCluskey Award was the penultimate event of, was a highlight of previous editions of Idea Week sponsored by Notre Dame. Starting in 25, the regional partnership will be sponsoring and managing this exciting week of entrepreneurs. This is another opportunity for Marshall County entrepreneurs to get plugged into the ecosystem of like-minded entrepreneurs and funding opportunities and investments. I mentioned internships and apprenticeships. MCEDC is working with a regional partnership to help increase and formalize internship opportunities at Southwire. They are also working with Notre Dame's ND Labs, another opportunity for industry to engage with potential talent. Hoosier Tire also hosted several interns this past year, and they'll host several more going this past year. They had one local college student as an intern, and one was from Germany through their parent company, Continental. Marian University and Ancilla College continues to work with local industry to place college interns through the LIFT program. LIFT is Labs for Industry Futures and Transformation. That's a Lilly-funded grant. Downtown development, I mentioned, we're working with all communities in the county, but these two in particular have strong initiatives. Plymouth, expanding their residential opportunities to bring residents with discretionary income to live downtown, and Culver developing their Main Street organization. The county comprehensive plan, we want to do two things in there: identify quality of place needs. With community engagement, we want to help establish a list of desired infrastructure and amenities that residents and potential residents are looking for when considering Marshall County. That trite SWOT analysis will need engagement at all levels in public. What strengths should we capitalize on? The weaknesses that need to be addressed? What opportunities for quality of place improvement should be focused on? And what threats to the quality of place are we facing? We also want to identify areas of economic growth. What areas of economic growth do community members want to focus on? The county comprehensive plan is an opportunity to be engaged and express what should be developed in the county. Often it is easy to be against development of progress. Here is an opportunity to be a part of suggesting ways that the county can develop as technology and society continues to change. AI, for instance, was a science fiction subject 20 years ago when the last comprehensive plan was developed. Now, modern agriculture is incorporating AI processes to control the cost of inputs to help make processing plants more efficient. Autonomous vehicles will soon become an everyday means of transportation, not just on the freeways that cross our county, but on the county roads of our unincorporated areas. Technology continues to change our everyday lives. Manufacturing is becoming more efficient and automated, bringing higher wages through higher productivity. It was only a couple of years ago that there was only a couple of manufacturers in the county with robotic equipment on the manufacturing floor. Now it is a rare organization that hasn't adopted some form of automation. Most of the schools in the area have a robotics team. The future employees, the talent that I mentioned earlier they're looking for, are looking to attract are adopters of this technology. They are familiar with and use AI, for instance. The County Comprehensive Plan is an opportunity to engage with the members of our community for real answers to how these changes should be incorporated into the county. We're going to continue working with our regional partnerships, leveraging their national work to highlight Marshall County, and also work with them in housing initiatives. As I mentioned, we'll be working on a per capita wage increase. That's something that the regional partnership is also transitioning to and really developing. In our county development for the future quarterly meetings, at the last meeting, we polled leaders from across each community and the county to get a sense of what infrastructure was lacking or needed to be addressed to accommodate future growth. We'll continue to pursue these discussions to try to find areas that communities can work together to improve. Some of the long-term initiatives that we can continue to meet and engage with employees about the challenges they are facing. Another of the benefits of the BR&E process is introducing community leaders and industry leaders to one another, giving each an insight into the challenges that they each face. We're going to be working on an entrepreneurial ecosystem, redeveloping the entrepreneurial ecosystem that spawned Hoosier Tire, American Container, U.S. Granules, and other homegrown industries. We help prepare our communities for the future. Additional employment, things that require additional services and instruction, these are things that all our small communities should be thinking about and planning for. Areas of quality of life improvement, areas of continual improvement that will attract industry, workforce, and investment. Quality of life improvement is not a one and done process. It is a continual assessment of the current quality of life and how it can be improved upon. Continue to strive for excellence, knowing perfection is unattainable and mediocre is unacceptable. Any questions on any of that?
I do have one, if you could expand on it a little bit. I know we may have talked about it briefly a year or so ago, but this new technology, working with workforce development, what's our goals? What are we trying to accomplish? What kind of programs are we going to offer? Because I truly believe if you have the skilled labor, the companies will come.
Yeah, we are working with the adult education to upskill that. You've seen that. The other one that you probably haven't seen as much, but we're working on is, how do I describe it? It's scaling up. Instead of, for instance, a manufacturer here in town would want to bring in some electrical training, and then they would have to find 11 or 12 people to make it financially feasible. What we're doing over at the Marshall County Career Innovation Centers, we would host that, offer it to all our industry so that they only have to send 1 or 2 people to get that training done. We would also open it to the public if anybody wanted to come in during that time and offer those opportunities there. We've done some of that. We had a leadership training over in Bourbon that was open to the public and to the bourbon industries. We're doing more of that over here all the time. Purdue is a very great partnership with us and what they offer. I know that one of the aspects along that is we offer the English as a second language, not only off-site at the Career Innovation Center, but we can go into industry and offer it there. We are offering Spanish for managers, be coming down soon, so that if you have frontline managers that have to deal with Spanish-speaking individuals, that they'll have some conversational Spanish ability. That'll be coming. But more to your point about the technology, those are things that Purdue, we sponsor those programs to come, and we send those notices out to the HR industry and let Career Innovation Center, the adult education, know about those possibilities too.
My question was based on the fact that I know a couple years ago, Workforce Development had a big presence in the county. We made some changes. I don't see that presence because I don't see the programs. At least I'm not hearing about them. If I haven't heard about them.
Yeah, Jason Revick took over that adult education, and he's doing great things.
Okay.
He's
Well,
done-
I was up there the night I think you were, I seen you there the night up at Mishawaka when
Yeah,
they announced him.
yeah.
They had a
Oh, yes. That's not Jason Revick. That's the individual that took over the Workforce Development Board,
Yeah,
the
Workforce
regional one.
Development Board.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm excited about that change also. For years, we've heard that there's funding and money available through these different programs, but then when push came to shove and we actually tried to get some funding, it seemed to be allocated somewhere else or disappeared for whatever reason. I think with new leadership, we'll see some of those programs come through.
I quizzed him about what this is going to do for Marshall County, and he assured me that he was going to try to do some things and get some more programs down here, so.
Yeah, no, I've had preliminary discussions with him, and I think he's on my calendar to talk more
Okay.
with I can't remember her name from Warsaw that is his underling.
I just know the lady from Napanee. Was it Marcy?
Marcy, that's who, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So,
Okay. Anybody have anything else for?
I know that a number of members of the council have been requesting that you come and report to them as well. Can I get your commitment to appear on the February council meeting agenda to
Yes.
give an annual report to them?
I had planned on doing that, and that be going forward, it'd be a quarterly meeting, a quarterly update.
Perfect,
Good.
okay. Also, just as we're making a $150,000 a year investment in your organization from the county standpoint, and I know the other local municipalities probably exceed that. Kind of wondering about some financial transparency. Interested to know what additional revenue sources that you guys have and what your budget is. I know the General Assembly's made some action to make the Indiana Economic Development Corporation more financially transparent, and is also in the process of prohibiting them from putting members in non-disclosure agreements and things like that. These are conversations that we'd like to have going forward. Do you know, is the only revenue source that MCEDC receives just from the county and the other municipalities, or do you guys bring in additional revenues?
We do have investors, some private individuals and corporations that give us funding.
Okay.
That's not of any secret. All their logos are on our website. If you see the corporations that flow by, they are our investors.
Okay, do you guys receive any incentives from organizations that you guys might be working with? Say, for instance, I know that you guys put a lot of effort into assisting Invenergy with their solar project last year. Is there any like conditional money that you guys receive if they receive a project that goes through?
No. We don't do the pay-to-play. No, I truly am interested in seeing Marshall County succeed. I know that's been something that's been done in the past, but I don't do the
Okay.
pay-to-play.
Okay, yeah, that's my main concerns, and I know that prior to 2023, the county had made quarterly payments to MCEDC, but beginning in January of 2023, we started paying the annual fees in one lump sum in January. I do think it's on our agenda later. I'd like to go back to paying quarterly.
Yeah.
As we look at our relationship moving forward, I do want to make sure that we get some kind of financial transparency. So I know Steve Dalton from Senator Dalton has been working with the council. They're going to begin working with the commissioners. And I do hope that before we move into the 2025 or until next year's budget session, that we do get a chance to look at books and see where our investment's going. So that's all I've got on this item, so.
Real quick, just so you know, Greg, it's House Bill 1264 that's been currently proposed down there to change that out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm a member of the IEDA, and we have a legislative committee that keeps us updated on things. One of the hot button issues is TIF funding.
Yeah.
How they're going to redo that, and we're keeping apprised of that right now.
They got a lot of hot topics down there this year.
They do.
That's gonna affect Marshall County one way or the other. A lot of them.
I heard even about the community crossing grants. I don't know if you've heard.
That's to this point we haven't heard anything official yet, but it was presented to us in some private meetings.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, that one caught my attention also.
yeah, there's a couple of them down there.
Yeah.
It's got everybody's attention, so thank you very much.
Oh, thank you.
Appreciate it.
Yep.
Okay. Sheriff. You got a request for a grant?
Morning,
Please
Matt.
state your name and title, Matt.
Matt Hassel, Sheriff. Just here to request your approval for us to reapply for the law enforcement DNR grant that provides a boat patrol Lake Maxintucky from basically Memorial Day weekend through Labor Day weekend. We were going to ask for $20,000 again, and
That's
last
what
year we only got 15, but that's what we're going to ask for.
Okay. That was gonna be my question, how much, I couldn't remember from year to year.
Yeah, it's a good program, so I'll make the motion to approve the request for grant application.
Second.
And I think the basic balance is funded by the Lake Max Association, correct?
Correct.
Yeah. Motion been made second to approve the sheriff's request to apply for the Lake Enforcement DNR grant in the sum of $20,000. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you.
Thanks, Matt.
Attorney report. What do you got for us, Sean?
Yeah, just a couple things. Last time, John Grolick made the presentation about the tower lease. Since then, he had provided me some additional information, and then we had searched for a copy of the lease and weren't able to locate it. Then I had just recently reached out to the contact with MD7, which is AT&T's consultant that they have working on this negotiation, who provided me with a copy of the lease. The lease with all its attachments and things is like 102 pages, so I haven't had a chance to complete my review of it, but I definitely will get that done and have a report to you before your next meeting. Hope to have some movement on that here soon. And then the last thing was the proposed new health department site with the Bowen Center. Commissioner Klotz had put me in contact with the Bowen Center's attorney. He's a guy by the name of Keith Mundrick out of the Indianapolis area. I've reached out to him. He was on vacation last week, but he emailed me over the weekend. So working with him to try to get that shored up. Depending on how we end up getting this structured, there could be a possibility of approval coming to you at your next meeting, or possibly having to seek one more additional approval from the council, and then coming back to you your meeting after that. So still trying to advance the ball on that, and should have news soon.
Yeah.
I received a text the other day from the guy I talked to at Bowen. He said there was a couple issues they was getting back with you with, and basically just legal language,
Yeah.
but nothing was a deal breaker according to him, so.
Yep, that's it.
Yeah. One of the things I didn't want to step on the council's toes while that discussion was going on at their meeting. I do hope that we would consider, as we're making this purchase, that the county is going to have access to additional space in that building that's not going to be consumed by the health department. And so I don't know how fair it is to expect the health department to pay for that entire building and then allow us to use, 40% or 50% of that space for another department.
I will tell you, it will be a minimal amount of space, but there should be space available. As far as paying for the whole building, yes, they are paying according to what the council wants to do. They are paying majority of it, depending on their funding. But you gotta understand, there's still a lot of things going forward as far as maintenance stuff that county's gonna have to pick up.
Yeah.
So just because they're picking up the majority of the, there's gonna be maintenance, there's gonna be the snow plowing, there's gonna be the grass mowing, and people going in and
Insurance,
changing
things like
bulbs
that,
and all
yeah.
kinds of things like that. Maintenance will take care of. So, while I know on the surface, it looks like the county's, or the health department's paying for it all, that's not quite totally true, when
Okay,
you get
yeah.
long-term, so.
Yeah.
But I agree with you. I
Yeah.
understand your concern. Also, once that agreement's done, we think we have a agreement in place, then the health board, I believe, Sandy's still gonna call a special meeting. That's still the intent, right? Dr. Miller's gonna call a special meeting, and so they can look at the contract, because they need to approve it too, since it is some of their money. So I believe that'd be the proper procedure. So once they approve it, then it would come back to us for approval, if everybody's in agreement. Would that be, am I correct, Sean?
Sure, that sounds good.
Okay. So, anyone got anything else for Sean? Okay, going forward then, we got the auditor's report.
I have your January 6th minutes.
I move to approve the January 6th meeting minutes as presented.
Second.
Motion made, second to approve the January 6th Commissioner meeting minutes. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries.
Your 113 executive session minutes.
Motion to approve the executive session meetings from January 13 as presented.
Second.
Motion made, second to approve the executive session 113 minutes. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries.
I have AP claims.
Move to approve the AP claims.
Second.
Motion been made, second to approve the AP claims. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
And I have payroll claims.
And motion to approve the payroll claims.
Second.
Motion made, second to approve the payroll claims. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Is that all you have, Madam Auditor? Okay. Now we come to the public comments. Anyone here have anything to say? Hang on. Come on, ma'am. Marv, you be next. Come on up here, state your name and address, and tell us what's on your mind, and please, we keep it 3 minutes, okay?
My name is Sharon Rosinski. I live at 4057 Olive Road in Plymouth. I represent the neighbors of the 4th and Olive Road area. I started attending these meetings in September. We have quite a bit of a traffic issue, speed-wise. At 4th and Olive Road, there is a two-way stop. Our road is very hilly. And so you can a lot of times have traffic coming and not even realize it till they're, right there on top of you at that intersection. I've attended The only meeting I haven't attended was in December. I couldn't make it. But in November, they had a counter put out for checking the traffic, and they were going to give me results from that in the December meeting, and I wasn't able to be here. So I don't know if you still...
I can get them. Give me your address and give me your contact info. I'll get that for you after the meeting.
Okay,
Okay.
okay. We still have traffic issues there. Nothing has changed. And, you know, a four-way stop, I know, would be beneficial rather than a two-way there, because at that point, they're going to have to slow down because it would be a four-way stop. I understand speed limit signs would also help. I do know that I've been told that if there isn't anything posted, it's a 55, but they way exceed that limit. And you've got your driveways. We have a new neighbor through the summer that moved in. They're right by a wooded area. They've got basically what I think would be called a hidden driveway. I don't know if they're going to approach the commission for a sign or something, but someone coming through there easily could be, you know, it can get deadly. There's been a few incidents just of my husband and I, and, you know, we're slow when we're looking, but there's been some close calls, and we're not the only ones. And it's a neighborhood. It's just not one house here and 4 miles down the road is the next house. It's a community. And summertime, we have a lot of pets, people, myself, dog walkers, kids on bikes. And I'm just trying to see if we can't make it a little bit safer neighborhood. I did bring a petition which signed from people in the neighborhood when I was here at the September meeting. So I don't know if there's anything else going on to help us move forward on this. We would certainly appreciate anything that can be done.
I think for the sake of the two new commissioners, I can answer a little bit. We did have Maycall come out and put a trailer up. As I remember, I don't remember for sure, but if I remember right, there wasn't nothing that jumped out, you know, to them. But I can get you them results. Also, my understanding, and again, enforcement has to be by the sheriff. We can't enforce it, okay? But they had deputies out there a couple times.
Yes.
Might even set in your driveway and did not, they did not see anybody.
I understand that.
Yeah,
And, you know,
yeah.
I'm not saying that this type of traffic is happening 24/7.
Right, right.
It doesn't. It doesn't happen on Michigan Road that way, you know. There was a deputy who came out, and before he came to the house, he says, well, I went on 4th Road, and I went on Olive Road. And he said, I seen no speeders at all. He stood in our driveway probably about 15, 20 minutes with my husband and I, and a few cars did go rather fast past, and he's like, well, you know, that was probably about 60, 65. He said, you know, that's okay. And he says, but I'm not seeing anything. Well, and I'm not saying it's every car that passes, but there's a lot of them that really speed it up through there. And the road, especially Olive Road, is valley. You know, and when they get down in that valley, you can sit at that intersection and look, and you don't see a vehicle until it comes up. Well, by then, it's not very long before everybody's right there at one spot. I understand that some people have been out looking, but it's not something that's going to happen, you know, continuously all the time. But when it does, it gets pretty...
And we've also put in one of our safety grants to buy one of them trailers. You can park there and it'll flash the speed at you when you come by and warn you if you're going too fast. Again, we can't enforce that, but at least that's our intention. If we do get that, to bring that out there to places, yours and a couple places around the county. We have a Maycog trailer going, I think, next week to a place up by the county line to check another location. And so we're looking at it. Like I said, if we get that grant, we will have one of them speed limit trailers. Now, that's not going to make everybody slow down, but at least it's a warning, you know?
Yeah, right.
So.
Right, it's a Band-Aid, actually, I mean, you know, to a point. I know any of us would be, if we see that, you're going to slow down, obviously.
Would hope. You would hope.
Well, yeah.
But again, our hands as commissioners are kind of tied when it comes to the enforcement side. We cannot enforce that. It has to be the sheriff, and if they don't catch them, I don't know what to say.
So making that into a four-way stop has to also be done by the sheriff's department?
No, that would be us, and there's guidelines on that, and I can't tell you what they are, to be honest, off the top of my head, but there are some guidelines. I have to get with Jason on that.
Yeah, and I would say with a long established traffic pattern there, it may be potentially more dangerous in the short term to add a new stop sign if people are expecting folks to come, coming from the other direction to stop. And folks who've been driving that road for years aren't used to stopping there, you could have some bad accidents there. So I don't think even just a stop sign would have to do it. I think you'd need to have probably a flashing light of some sort to draw people's attention to the new traffic pattern.
Uh-huh. So a flashing light, and not making it a four-way, or flashing light to,
Well, if you were going to make it a four-way, I would think you would need a flashing light to alert people
Inform people, right.
to the new sign. So
Sure.
I'm not saying whether we should or shouldn't do that. I'm just saying it's not going to be just as simple as putting a stop sign up.
sure, and I understand that. Yeah, I would say that, yeah, people would need to be forewarned and have to get used to something like that, like as in any place, if you did something else on one of our busier highways. But we're going to be there 25 years at that corner, and when we moved in, we noticed the traffic at that point already. And we were told at the signing of, with our mortgage, that as that area got developed, we were the second house in that whole area there, that as it gets developed and all the trucks and all the heavy traffic and everything finally gets, settled in, then they would make it more of it would be a four-way, more of a, let's call it a protected community, if nothing else. Like I said, it's not like we live 4 miles from each other.
Well, give me your phone number after the meeting, okay? I don't want you to give it to me here in a public meeting.
Yeah.
And then I will get with Jason and try to get you that information, and we'll,
Okay. See where we can go.
I don't know what to tell you on the four-way stop, be honest with you.
Uh-huh. Okay, well,
I don't know what the rules are.
yeah, I'm not quite sure myself.
Yeah.
I guess I could try, I don't know if I would be able to look into
Well,
something like that,
We can
but
talk, we can talk to Jason, he'll know more.
I do know that with collecting the signatures, there's many people
Right.
who have the same feeling about this issue. And, there's children, it's just not adults out there, so.
It's not the first place in the county, unfortunately, this has happened. We've
I'm
had to
sure
deal with it
not.
other places too, so.
I'm sure not. I
Okay.
just feel very strongly about it and told my fellow neighbors I would stick with this and
Yep.
see what we could
No.
do, so,
Thank you very much.
Okay.
Appreciate it.
thank you.
Thank you.
Marv?
Morning.
Morning.
Marvin Huyen, 7563 Plymouth Ocean Trail, Bremen, Indiana. I came in here for a couple different reasons. In 2011, the county commissioners put forward a resolution about taxation of private easements on Lake of the Woods, and I have a copy of it here.
You want it? You have 2 copies?
I got one for each of you.
Well, we need one for the auditor too, so when we get done, we give it to her, okay? If you're gonna hand one.
Thank you.
Thank you. The reason I bring this forward is there is a petition going around now to form a conservancy district on Lake of the Woods. And I wanted the clarification from the commissioners, since they were the ones that put forward this resolution, as to actually who is lakefront property owners and who is not. And according to this, it says on item number 3, all private accesses should be taxed in accordance with the policies of Marshall County. And with that, then, It also goes on and to say, I'm going to back up a little bit, on number 2, those right-of-ways, easements, and accesses dedicated as a private access shall remain private, and as such, shall be subject to real estate property taxation. Private accesses are reflected by the special meeting and minutes of the June 21st, 2010 meeting, and it lists parcels both public and private as attached, and I've got those attached here also. The other item into this is item number 5. It is the intention of the county commissioners for those private accesses as formed by the commissioners which have previously not been taxed and assessed, that such properties be assessed and the assessment be divided equally amongst those benefiting from the private access. The commissioners do not distinguish those lot owners that may already have lake access or multiple accesses from those who do not in the respective subdivisions. And in the last 2 pages, I want to get to a couple of things.
Can you make it quick, Marv? Your 3 minutes is up.
I'm trying to. I got to get it right. The Inglewood Park one on the last page, it has these lots that are, there's 5 lots there, or no, 1, 2, 3, 4 lots that are owned by my brother. And those lots are, they have a 3-foot easement for all the people in that subdivision. So that allows, my question to you is, does that allow those people that in that subdivision have a 3-foot access through their private lot, are they lakefront property owners?
I guess that's something I can't answer today. It'd have to be researched. Marv,
Because
I ain't sure.
according to what you have written here in the ordinances, resolutions that you passed, they actually become lakefront property owners because they have access to the lake.
Sounds like a good question for a judge.
Well, that's, but you guys put this together.
Yeah.
And this is, that's why it came here first. The other thing that I have, and the reason I bring that out is the Washtenaw subdivision, and I just bought that farm for this reason, and I'll pass these out to you.
Marv, we can't go on, okay? You got 3 minutes, okay? You've had your 3 minutes. You need to wrap it up quick, okay? And then if you need to get us more information, get us more
I'll
information.
just tell you, on the Washtenaw subdivision, these people are filed as owners of the Washtenaw public access. So are they allowed, second page, are they allowed to sign this petition as lakefront property owners? They are being taxed, again, on lakefront property.
So if I can just interject, so there's a court action for the establishment of a conservancy district. There's a hearing scheduled in that for tomorrow. The county isn't a party to that, but my partner Jim Clevenger, as the past county attorney, had appeared in that case as a interested party, which is somebody who gets notices about a case, who's kind of watching it but isn't actually involved. He's since moved to withdraw. The court hasn't granted that yet, but it's been on my radar. I hadn't appeared as an interested party for the county yet until this morning. I was appointed as the Drainage Board attorney, and I intend to do so. There's presently a hearing scheduled on this petition for tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. in Superior Court 3, which I plan to attend. But just this morning, while we were preparing for the Drainage Board meeting, the attorney for the petitioners filed a motion to continue the hearing, citing some questions about various people that signed a petition to dismiss the petition, whether or not they should be able to. So these very issues are going to be in front of the court. I'm suspecting by the end of the day, we'll get a ruling from the judge whether or not he's going to grant the motion to continue the hearing. But I would very much agree with Commissioner Klotz that all of these issues are ones that, regardless of if we were prepared and had, analyzed this and gave you an answer today, it's not going to matter. It's going to be in the judge's hands to make that determination, so.
Well, the reason I bring that up, and the only reason it irritated me is there's 2 different petitions turned into our county auditor. And I found out through an email that our county auditor talked to the main people who gave their petition for the Conservancy and went over a bunch of signatures and stuff. This is what I've been in the email. And it was also discussed with their attorney about some of these signatures. But the opposition side has never been contacted. Every time the opposition has questions, they're put down and they say, we can't talk about this or anything like that. That's why I wanted clarification from the county commissioners about this, because the auditor is sitting right there and never answered any of our questions, never called anybody about any of our signatures or anything, and just is ramrodding this thing through.
Well, I think this is like I said, it's an issue for the courts. It's a difficult task of the compiling the list that the auditor's office has been called upon to do. I think she's done a good job. The very issues you just addressed are, and all of this has been new to me. I've been reading this motion while I was sitting in the Drainage Board meeting, so, and I've never seen this resolution just presented, but the very issues you just mentioned were addressed by the attorney in this motion. So I think it's something that'll be addressed by the judge, so.
Well, I hope that the county commissioners address the procedure that was gone through all these signatures for and for against by our county auditor.
Yeah.
I
Well,
feel like
I
our
will
county
say,
auditor has not done her job properly.
I will say that when you're talking about judges and separately elected county officials, I don't think anybody is going to care one way or the other how we weigh in on it. I hope that the judge considers your motion and weighs those facts carefully. But we craft the language, and then it's up to the court to interpret it.
Well, the issue is that we see is that we were never asked about some very controversial signatures that were accepted by the county auditor.
Marva,
And then she also talked about their attorney, but never conferred with our attorney.
Marva, I can't answer some of them
I know
questions,
you
but
can't,
I will have to say, our county auditor's put a lot of time and effort into her staff and Tori and all of them, so I would take a little exception to some of that. I'm not saying it's right or wrong, because I don't know all the details, I wasn't there, but to say she's not doing her job, I would just take exception to that.
Well, I didn't mean that she didn't do her job, it's just that she didn't come back to us and ask us.
I'm not sure it's
the
always her responsibility, but like I say, I don't know all the details, okay?
question. She should have never talked to either side.
Okay. Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Anyone else have any public comments? Seeing none, we'll move on to commissioner items. We do have an out-of-state travel request. As I told you guys, I don't want to give specific dates because of, don't want to compromise position. But we have an out-of-state travel request by the Sandy Health Department to, where was this going to, Sandy? Come on up here. I don't have that paper in front of me.
It's the World Vaccine Congress in Washington, D.C. I've been invited. The cost of the conference is $2,500, but I've been invited by someone that's going to speak there to be her guest. So my request would be for travel expenses, not the cost of the actual conference. It's from all over the world, because it is the World Vaccine Conference. What I'm most interested in, of course, I want to hear her speak. I've heard her speak multiple times. She spoke for me at some events that the health department has hosted. She's a Lakeville, La Paz, in that area, as where Katie lives. But I'm most excited to hear about Shingrix vaccine. They've kind of found an off-the-record, off-label that it's helping with some preventing dementia. I know, that's what I thought. I thought, well, that's very interesting. So I'm really excited to attend that session, just to hear about the studies they've done and how they found that out, and, you know, what the numbers are. And I've had my Shingrix, so maybe no Alzheimer's in my future. So, you know, that's just one of the things on the agenda I'm excited about. And I've never been to Washington DC, so that sounds pretty cool to me as well.
So you're looking for reimbursement on airfare and
Correct.
And
Hotel.
hotel? Okay. Is that in your budget right
It
now?
is, absolutely.
Okay. I move that we approve the request.
Second?
Motion made, second to approve the out-of-state request from Sandy from the Health Department to Washington DC. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you,
Thank
Sandy.
you.
I do my sheet here. Next item we have is board appointments, and we have a couple left we haven't got done yet. Help me here, Madam Auditor. The guy from Coons Lake Regional sent a letter.
Yes, Michael McKenna was appointed and he resigned, so Steve, I believe it's pronounced Geis, G-I-E-S-E.
Yep.
Steve, what is?
Steve Geis, G-I-E-S-E, that's the recommendation from the board.
And I believe since we appointed him, we need to remove his appointment first, do we?
You can just replace him with,
Okay, be part of the motion. Okay. Okay. And then we have, I think our intentions was, and I don't think we made it official, because we appointed Don Nunemaker to the Plan Commission, but I think the intention was for him to also be our appointment to the BZA.
Yes.
We
Yep.
didn't finish that out.
Yeah, Don's asked me about that, so, yeah.
And then I have talked to Michelle Miras. She's willing to finish her term on the Plan Commission, or at least most of it. But she also was appointed as a one-year alternate to the BZA. We also have Larry Huyen, will be taking over Dave Hostetler's seat on the Plan Commission. And then I think he has expressed an interest in serving on the BZA. I know some of them are happy about that, but that will be a BZA, or a Plan Commission appointment. That's not ours. And then we have, refresh my memory, Allison Shook.
she was on the Board of Health and didn't meet the qualifications, and recommendation came from the city for.
Mayor.
Yeah, from the mayor for Sandy Orson.
That's
Yep.
it.
Yep.
Sandy who?
Orson,
O-R-S-O-N?
O-R-S-U-N-D.
Yep.
Okay. I know he sent that, I just couldn't remember the details. And then we need one elected commissioner to sit on the Fair Board, one to sit on the Extension Board.
I'll take the extension board.
You want the Fair Board, or you want me to do it? It's yours if you want it.
You've been to the fair once or twice, haven't you, Adam?
I have.
Will you be in town during the week to cover that?
Let's see what happens.
You want
Go
me to
ahead.
put you on there, and if you can't make it,
Yeah,
I'll cover
go
for you?
ahead.
Okay. Okay, we'll put Adam on the Fair Board.
And then you also have tourism. Angel Balsley resigned from the tourism.
Yes.
And Jill
Their
Huyen?
recommendation was
Huyen.
Jill Huyen.
Yep.
Yep.
Mhm.
Didn't I have this here somewhere? I missed it. Oh, there it is. Yeah, I had Jill down. I didn't announce her. And then we have one more that basically individuals not fill out their paperwork, so I'm proposing we don't deal with that today. We don't have anybody to replace them with, a Democrat, so if they don't get their paperwork filled out, we'll need to replace that individual.
Yep.
Okay, so we have, going back over this, we have Marshall County BZA be Don Nunemaker. The alternate for the BZA be Michelle Miras, which she's in that position now. The new Marshall County Plan Commission would be Larry Huyen. Board of Health would be Sandy Orson. Coons Lake Sewer District would be, is it Steve Geis? Tourism Board would be filling Angel Balsley's spot, would be Jill Huyen. Fair Board would be Adam, and the Extension Board would be Jesse. Do I have a motion for them?
I move to approve the slate as read.
Second.
Motion made second to approve the appointments as read. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. The next item we have is, we also have do we need a point, since we changed the quarterly payments on the economic development, do we need to make a motion for that, Angie?
They have sent us quarterly invoices.
Invoices?
And when we receive it and it matches the contract, that's why we make the payment based off of the invoice
So you're
with the
good.
contract. So they're sending us quarterly invoices now per requested, so we will only pay them quarterly.
Okay,
And we will only pay, just so everybody is aware, anytime there's a donation, anytime there's this type of an agreement, unless we receive an invoice, that's not going to trigger us to
Right, to
go
pay.
out and pay. That's up to those entities to reach out to us for payment. So it's not something that we're just going to start unless we get an invoice from them.
Perfect, all right.
I have a couple more items here under commissioner items. I have a request from Council President Harmon. The funding, we funded the fire departments at $50,000 last year. My understanding, the year since it expired, he would like approval to go ahead and take care of the fire departments that didn't get funded last year to balance that up. And also, I think we have to create a line, correct, or do they do that?
You have to create the agreements
Resolution?
between all of these departments, and then the actual fund from which it's coming, the line would be created through the council
Okay.
on their side. But you have to, it's in your court to approve first, and you'd have to have all those agreements in place. And I don't know, Sean, where those are, if anybody's reached out to you on, because I'm not even sure what all of them are. That was
Yeah.
not anything I was involved with.
I know that Jim was working on that. I don't know how much he had gotten completed towards that, but
Okay.
are you familiar with the discussion?
I've heard about it, but I don't know about any details, so I can follow up on it.
I think we better just wait on that till you get a chance to follow that up. We can prove it all at once.
Yeah.
Once
I would say
everything's in place.
If you'll be in touch with Councilman Harmon, I think he's probably the best one to go over what we had discussed last year, so.
Yeah.
And I think, don't we have three, John, don't we have three fire departments in Polk? We give Polk about half their money, and there's three more we haven't done yet, correct?
There's four,
Four?
right,
Okay,
and Polk received half of their
Your
money,
Polk,
yes.
is that including Polk 4, or is that 4 plus Polk?
4 plus Polk.
Okay, well, if you talk to them, would you have them get a hold of Sean and
Sure.
get them put together?
Do you want those folks to participate in a intergovernmental agreement, or,
Yeah, some kind of MOU.
is that the way you want to do that?
Get with Sean. We did them last year, so I would assume the same thing. We just,
Okay, all right.
since we had to roll over the new year, I think we just have to reapprove.
No, those were done because the ARPA funding
ARPA funds?
was what was used for those four departments. That is the reason why it was pushed through, and because we had to obligate the money by December 31st. So now this is going to be a totally different set of rules, and as I had stated before, that's going to have some sort of language in there as to the specific items that can be purchased and who the authority is to request those purchases, which I am going to recommend that be the commissioners, not the auditor's office. I will only deal with the money that goes in and out and make sure that it follows the agreements. But as far as requests for what they can make those purchases on, that would have to be something stated in there, some verbiage in there, please.
Yeah, they'd have to bring a proposal for approval at a commissioners meeting.
Okay,
Yep.
all right.
Can this also be a multi-year agreement?
As long as the council continues to fund it.
That would be up to them, John. Okay, and we have another item here, it just popped up. Unfortunately, we had a Sunday morning, we had a pickup truck get wrecked. We've been trying to get some of our vehicles on rotation. I was going to buy a new pickup truck. I was going to suggest to you guys, we buy a new pickup truck for the maintenance department. Because this was a pickup out of the maintenance department. We have one I'd like to replace, but if this winds up, we don't know yet. If it was wind up being a total, we could replace it with this new one. If not, we'll replace the other one, okay? So I guess I would ask for permission, what you guys think about going ahead and starting the process, get some bids, see what they look like, because it's in some cases, it's a long time to get a truck. So
That makes sense. We need to get one way or the other, right? So,
I just need, we'll go through the normal ones we do, and we'll check around, put it out for proposals to,
and this is for the highway department?
no, this is for maintenance.
For maintenance,
It'd be a
yeah.
3/4 ton, single cab
Okay,
pickup truck.
all right. Well,
And the plow got tore up pretty good too, so we may wind up doing a plow, but we don't need that today.
all right. Well, then make a motion that we get bids for a 3/4 ton single cab pickup truck for use by the maintenance department.
Second that?
And then we'll all come back to commissioners to be approved. They won't be ordered or nothing till, the commissioners decide, so. Motion made second to approve soliciting bids for a new 3/4 ton regular cab pickup truck for the maintenance department. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. And the only thing I have is, we've been talking about this, is basically, there's a lot of legislation going on down at Indianapolis this year. I don't know what this is all gonna look like. I don't know. There's a couple items I know interest us a lot, have potential adverse effects for Marshall County. Whether we want to do a resolution on some of these and just send them out, let our feelings be known. I've also talked to Carl Baxmeyer, which is the president of our Northwest District, the Commissioners Association. I talked to Tyler Warman, which is the district basically president now. I talked to him Thursday or Friday. They're looking at everything right now. I mean, we've got the property tax reform. We've got the bill could affect community crossings grant. We got the other, and it's basically, it's a 1238, I think it was, Senator Snow's bill that would basically start the process of, could erode some of our local control.
Yeah.
And so I know some of these are pretty important to us, and I'm sure I'm forgetting something else, but
That was House Bill 1628.
1628.
1628.
So
I'm glad to know the number's so high on that bill. That is an indication that it may not be a leadership priority. So.
Well, and I think we just received a text this morning from from Kosciuszko County, who we've been talking to over there, and evidently Mr. Snow is not returning phone calls. So the assumption of he's getting a lot of pushback on that bill by a lot of the other counties around us also. So
yeah, I actually, when we were at Commissioners Conference, I was hoping to begin a push statewide to get some sort of constitutional amendment, even possibly to enshrine home rule more strongly than it has been. And so I would definitely be in favor of some sort of resolution to the General Assembly, specifically on that issue about home rule.
I guess my proposal would be, let's see what the Tyler said, the legislative body of the Association of County Commissioners was looking at all this, and he's going to have a response. And I did tell him, if it come time for them to testify, and they testified in opposition to this, let us know. We'll be down there supporting them. Somebody from Marshall County will be there. So.
And I would say if we do vote on something, I'd like to do that as a joint resolution and give the council a chance to join as well.
Absolutely.
So, yeah.
Well, the kicker is, if we're going to do this, we're going to have to do it quick.
Yeah.
I mean, we're going to have to do something by next meeting if that's what we choose to do. So if you guys decide you want to, we'll have Sean start looking at something, maybe for the next meeting.
Yeah, I'd like to do something just in a broad way, maybe not even necessarily related to a specific bill, but to reassert our desire to have more, or to protect home rule, especially when it comes to zoning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, because going down the list here, we got Senate Bill 1 and House Bill 1402. Both of those bills affect property tax rates and how we generate income into the county. And then House Bill 1628 is the home rule, and basically everything we've done this last year as far as zoning against solar, that control and our portion of saying that would go back to the state, and they dictate what comes into our county at that point. And then House Bill 1233 is the one where it gives full fire department control to the commissioners in each county and dissolves township trustees, along with any incorporated area with 1,000 people or less that expends more money than they take in will be dissolved. And that has a reporting requirement of every 4 years. So there's a whole lot of fun wrapped up into that.
That's one I was forgetting.
Oh, and it makes our EMA director the fire chief of the county.
So, anything else?
No.
Anything else?
Motion to adjourn?
Second. Sorry, I had to think about that one for a while.
Motion made second to adjourn. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries.
All right, signatures.